All right, Jim. So tell us the story about your client Zach, because I think he's the epitome of the sale
Or,
before the sale coach or trainer experience, right? If you're coaching, training people, this guy,
yeah.
this is how it should go for you.
Oh yeah. Zach is the poster child. So it's, uh, it was my client and still my friend. This was years ago, but his name's Zach Even-Esh of undergroundstrengthcoach.com. So Zach is, first and foremost, what I want to say is that none of what we teach works unless you can get results, right? If you don't get clients results, then none of this matters.
That's where you got
You
to
should,
start. Yeah,
yeah,
start there.
you shouldn't be watching this. You should be just practicing your craft, right? But Zach was amazing at getting people results. So what he did was he started out and he was actually a PE teacher who wanted to get out of that, and he wanted to start his own business, and he was off putting flyers on people's cars and cold calling people and taking any client that he could get. Like lots of coaches, just they're desperate, just whatever it can do to scrounge up some money. But long story short, what we do is we essentially put up a velvet rope around your coaching business, right? So everybody knows what a velvet rope is, or I think they do, right? Like in Vegas, they have if there's a velvet rope outside the club, all of a sudden people are in line, and what do you want, right? When there's a velvet rope around it, the less you can have it, the more people want it, right?
Yep.
Simple as that. So what we did with Zach was we dialed in his perfect client. We just, who do you want to work with, right? So what he wanted to do and exactly what he did was he's just started working with a couple of athletes, like wrestlers, and that's where it all started. But he just got these kids into such amazing shape. He's the kind of like throwing stones, flipping tires, dragging trucks kind of guy, right? Like,
It's hardcore.
um,
Yeah.
but so what started happening was he started to, that's all he focused on. That's all his content was about. That's all his message was about. That's all he was about. He just stood up for himself and said, if you're not going to do the work that is necessary, then I'm not going to take you on as a client. So he got a few kids, and those kids just became freaking animals, right? In a positive way, like all natural, just beasts, like just wrestlers. They were just crushing other kids, right? So what happens when they start just dominating the sport? Everybody like, what the heck is this kid doing? Where did this kid come from? And when they find out that Zach was their strength coach, then it's suddenly everybody wants to work with Zach. But guess what? You don't necessarily get to work with Zach, right? Again, it's the velvet rope. It's in some ways, right? It's, hey, how good do you look, right? Like, do you look like you're wealthy? Do you look like you have, nice clothes? You deserve to be in the club? Well, with Zach, it was really simple talking to parents. Well, listen, I don't take everybody on as a client, because if I take you on and your kid comes to these meets and you don't take him to the sessions, he doesn't follow the nutrition plan, he doesn't do the work on his own that I'm going to tell him to do, at home, stretching, whatever else, right? If he doesn't do those things, he's not going to get results, and I'm not going to have it. So he did that for his his athletes, because it started with getting people amazing results, knowing exactly who his perfect client is, demanding the best of himself and of his clients. And then he also, but not so not only did that happen, but he also then had tons of other strength and conditioning coaches wanted to follow his success, right? So he had a certification, right? He's got certifications. He's got a whole come to my gym for the weekend and learn how I see how I run my gym, right? He took a lot of the stuff that I taught him and he packaged it, and he was teaching other guys how to do it, which is perfectly fine, right? Because he's just an animal, right? He just deserves all the success that he has, because he's he's authentic in his authority, right?
Yeah.
He is,
He did what he loved and was great at, both, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So and that's all sale before the sale
Yeah.
stuff, right?
He wouldn't
It's
tell
you,
anybody.
he pre like he all his people come, sorry Tom, all his people come pre-sold, right? You have to prove to him you deserve to be a client, and that's what the sale before the sale is really
Well,
about.
I can picture it as a dad, right? You see this guy and you're like, oh, my kid used to be similar to those kids who are now just dominating this sport, this whatever the activity is. I want I want you to help my kid like you have those kids. Name your price. Name your price, name your terms, right?
Yeah.
I'm in because I want that and my kid wants that. I'm in, right?
100%.
And it,
100%.
and it translates across every single type of coaching, every type
100%.
of training. Somebody sees the person getting top dog results, and you're like, I want that. What do I got to do to get that? And if that's the attitude of someone coming to you, that's what we call the walk-up buyer, right? Hey, I've seen you in action. I know what you do. I want your results. What is it going to take for me to be a customer?
Yeah. Oh, they need to fight for the right to be your client. Right. Like, so it's like Zach wouldn't just let somebody say, hey, how much does it cost? So
Yeah.
no, it's going to be, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about what you've tried, what you've been doing, the simple selling system that we have. It's really about, what else have they tried and how committed to this are you? That, because that's the big thing, right? It's how committed to this are you? It's because it's not just about money. Some people can still just throw money at it and not do the work. Like you really have to just, you're interviewing them. They're not interviewing you, right?
Well, and if you're wondering how to do this, right? The book goes through this. There's more videos that we're putting together on this, right? Because I mean, if you think about it, you get to be authentically you because you get results. You can focus on the best results, the ideal, the most enjoyable results getting experience you deliver as a coach. And when you do those two things right, people come to you going, I want your services. How much? Name your price. And if you can't imagine that, start imagining it now because that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how sale before the sale works. Right?
That's how it works. Yeah. And that's why that's the number one takeaway though, is it all starts with your ability to deliver results. Right. And that's why like Tom and I work together because Tom and I can do this stuff blindfolded. Right. Like we're not good at everything. There's we're like, there's things that we are terrible at, right? Like there's things, we're not perfect people, but in terms of teaching coaches how to promote themselves and attract and pre-sell their perfect clients and build a coaching business, it's like the back of our hand.
That's why we called each other to help. Hey, I need your help. Oh, I was just thinking about you. Yeah. Tell that story sometime.
Yep.
All right. That's a wrap.